So hi, our group will be presenting on lesson plan, English lesson plan year 3 for year 3 on topic module 6, which is food peace. So this presentation will be presented by me, Nurul Nazira binti Zawawi, and my two fellow friends, Nik Hazwani binti Abdul Hamid and Siti Nur Eza binti Wan Muhammad Nasir. So our first, we have divided into a few topics, few content. So our first content is preparations prior the lesson. Okay. So before the lesson, teacher refers to the Get Smart Plus Year 3, which is teacher's book on the topic before planning the lesson. This is actually the textbook that we use in planning our lesson. Okay. Okay, after that, students will be were asked to read on Get Smart Plus 3 textbook, page 55 until 56, before the lesson to get overview on the topic, which is the topic will be focused more on the food vocabulary first, because we just start the new topic. The lesson plan is just we just start with the new topic in this lesson plan. So the student were asked to read the textbook on page 55 and 56 before the lesson started. Okay, next. Okay. Students also will be given a videos on food vocabulary and also grammar that will be covered in the lesson. So this is the video that we have choose. I will proceed to the next slides, which is here next.
This one, number 3.
Move forward.
Okay, can you see the slide?
Yeah, I can see this. I can see the video, but I can't see the next slide.
Alright, wait.
Okay.
Is it number 3, right? Wait.
So I will be
Okay, let's
explaining, briefly about the lesson plan that we have create or choose. So this is the lesson plan for subject English year 3. This is actually for 1 hour and 30-minute session. And the module that we choose is unit 6 or module 6, which is food peace. So the theme for this lesson plan is world of self, family and friends. So our skill focus is, the main skill focus is reading, and the complementary is writing, but we also instill the listening and speaking as well. So the skills, the integrated skills that we want to focus is about knowledge about food items, singular and plural of food items. So the content standard and learning standard is focusing more on reading and also writing. Okay, so the success criteria, people can list down the food items vocabulary, and next, and people can answer the questions according to the text or story given, and also people can create at least 3 simple sentences using there is and there are for success criteria and learning objective. We are focusing more on vocabulary and grammar. So our classroom-based assessment is formative assessment, and we instill the MPDL, which we choose 60 of education by Michael Fullen to be instilled in this lesson. So next, okay, there are 5 steps in the lesson plan, which is the first one is induction set, the second one is step one or stage one, and then stage two, and proceed to stage three. Last but not least is the closing or closure. So in induction set, student is giving teacher briefly give students introduction about food item. Before the lesson start, as I've mentioned before, students have been given the link, YouTube link or video link, that they must refer first at the link before the classes started. So during the induction set, we have instilled the NPDL, 6 of education, which is communication and collaboration. Why communication? Because the communication between students and teachers and students and also their peers happen. So the communication is the MPDL that we will use in this lesson, in this induction set. Which collaboration doesn't mean collaboration among the team only, but also collaboration of self. So the student must give the best collaboration of themselves to respond to the teacher's questions and also react to the students to their peers answers also. So the next is step one, which is during step one, teachers will be showing the flashcard one more time. But before the step one happen, actually the student is already um, study about the flashcard. I mean the vocabulary of food items, and then the discussion will be happen in Google Meet through by students responding to the teacher, and also the student have to respond in the Padlet, the digital platform or online platform that they must use to respond to the teacher's question. So the step two, we move to the next step. Step two is um, this is the time that teacher will teach about grammar. The grammar that will be highlighted in this step is about there is and there are, which is the usage of there is for singular and the usage of there are for plural. So the explanation about there is and there are will happen occur. So the student will understand the explanation. Teacher will use the presentation slides, and after that, the online quiz. Um, Sorry, before the there is before the teaching of grammar happened, teacher conducted the online quiz before. Okay, so after teacher teach about there is and there are, um, the students will be okay. Sorry, actually I have I have mistakenly explained. The quiz will be happen. We conducted after the presentation slide. I mean, the teacher explained about there is and there are. So the quiz will be answered by student after the teaching of grammar is conducted. So the next step is step three, which is this is the last step before the closing. Uh, During the last step, student is will be prepared with fridge template. I mean fridge template they can print out or they can just edit on that fridge template. Mm, so the student will be checking out their fridge and then list down the items that they have in the fridge, and then they will use there is and there are to create a simple sentence. So, and then last but not least, before the closing, students have to create the simple sentence in the Padlet given by teacher. So in closing, for additional exercise, teacher will be giving the students a worksheet through a live worksheet. So what can I highlight in this lesson plan? Moderate using communication, which is an element in 6 C's of education. Okay, communication, collaboration, creativity, character is instilled during in this lesson plan. Communication happens when there is two-way communication between teachers and students, and also students and their peers. And then collaboration happens among themselves and also their peers. Um, and also creativity. The student must think out of the box um, to use or to think out of the box to complete the task given. So for character, student will learn how to learn, which is student will be able to learn how to use the digital platforms, especially Padlet, Kahoot, Live Worksheet, and so on. So that's all from me. I will pass the presentation to our friends, Siti Nur Izzah.
Okay, now I will present it on the teaching aid that was utilized in the lesson plan. Okay, the first one, we use Google Meet to the lesson. Uh, Second, we just use videos to introduce students on the food vocabulary. Okay, number three, the third teaching aid is wait, okay, the third teaching flashcard, which is used as the editing during the lesson. Okay, number four, teacher use Kahoot and Padlet as the platform to give exercises to the students. You can see here the Kahoot and also the Padlet. Okay, number five, the fifth teaching aid. The teacher used PowerPoint slides to introduce grammar topics to the students. As you can see in the picture, okay, number six. Okay, this is the last teaching aid that was used, which is teacher used Get Smart Sanskrit textbook, page 55, and also the song's audio entitled I'm Hungry. Alright, these are all the teaching aids that was used in the lesson. Is implemented in the teaching and learning process, and this can be seen by incorporating technology into the classroom using the digital tools that I have mentioned just now. So the use of these digital tools is actually vital to accelerate deep learning in the students. Okay, next I will present on the teaching material. The first one, during the lesson development, we can see in the activity one, teacher use Padlet where students have to list down all the food vocabularies. The second one, in the activity, they use using Kahoot where students have to answer grammar questions about countable and uncountable nouns. Okay, this is the example of Kahoot. Online quiz in Kahoot. Alright, one. Okay, in activity 3, the use of fish template and also Padlet where for the fish the tablet, you will have to list down the item in the template given, and the source of the template is from teacherguide.com. And for the standard, the students have to create simple sentences using there is and there are. For example, there is some milk, there are some carrots. So all of the answers they have to write it in the Padlet. Okay, this is the example of a French template and also the exercises in the Padlet. Okay, for the book lessons, we can see the utilization of live worksheet or live exercise where teacher provides tools and exercise regarding the topic using this online platform, which is a live worksheet. Okay, this is the example of exercises in the live worksheet. All right, so that's all
Okay,
from me.
next we go to the teaching
one.
approach. My name is Nick Hazwani. Okay, in this lesson plan, it uses thematic approach because food is the central theme for the lesson content. Since the topic itself is food, please. So in the activity, all the discussion, activities, and formative assessment is carried out based on the topic food. For the teaching method, for this lesson is discussion because along the learning process, students are asked about the questions related to the topic which they construct the knowledge they have about it. We go to the teaching strategy. There are 3 strategies in this lesson. First is pupil-centered strategy. This is parallel with this lesson that is according to the NPDL, New Pedagogies for Deep Learning, because the lesson uses teaching strategy which is pupil-centered to enhance the participations of pupils to be more active and interactive as well as creative along the learning process, and also to become partner with a teacher to decide how to carry out the activities. The second strategy is material-centered strategy. We can see along the process there are lots of materials used along the lesson. For example, during the induction, YouTube video is shown to the students. And formative assessment, there are program instructional software program used by teacher for students to participate or do the work, like in Padlet, Kahoot, and Live Worksheet. The third strategy is task-based strategy. Okay, it is common in this lesson that students carry out many tasks such as fridge template, which they have to list down items in the fridge through brainstorming. Next, we go to teaching technique. For teaching technique, it is related to the first teaching technique is inquiry-based instruction because students are posed thought-provoking questions, and also the use of technology in the classroom because students engage in the lesson through YouTube video and assessment like Padlet, Kahoot, and Live Worksheet. So these are the technology used in the classroom. For the assessment, throughout the lesson, the assessment are in the form of formative assessment. For example, quizzes, worksheet, and in-class discussion. For quizzes, it is conducted through online platform, which we call Kahoot, and a worksheet like homeworks given through Live Worksheet. And for the in-class discussion, students can contribute their work or opinions and through in Padlet, and also to respond to teachers' questions through Padlet. Next, we go to the reflection. Okay, for the reflection, a teacher can see that students enjoy the lesson because it uses most of digital platforms and also instructional program software like Padlet, Kahoot, and also live worksheet because it is interactive and the students can learn new things. And also it can attract students' attention and participation despite it's been online. Apart from that, okay, we also have limitation. It is related to time constraint because when doing lesson online, we have constraint because each slot we cannot stretch it over the time limit because the time expected for online learning has been determined or decided. Next. Okay, the third limitation is overload activities. They are because this is a um, task-based learning, so there are a lot of activities that were given to the students, but somehow it quite burden for them to complete it within the time limit because it is only one slot given. Other than that, there are also a few issues related to technology or digital tool problems because of the internet connectivity while conducting the online learning, and also regarding the problem to log into the account. Next. Okay, in conclusion, the lesson has incorporated most of the 6Cs from NPDL, and it has given students opportunities to participate more in the class despite the class being conducted online, which is in the form of PDPR. And it is hoped that students can learn better by using the technology and also instructional digital platforms that were introduced by the teacher. That's all from us. Thank you.